Driving through Macon's interstate construction maze is more than a challenge. Near the junction of Interstate 75 and 16, where a new interchange is under construction, patterns continually shift through the work zone. Lanes narrow, and shoulders have disappeared as concrete barriers redirect traffic. "It's dangerous," Macon-Bibb County Fire Chief Marvin Riggins said recently. When work began in June 2017, speed limits dropped to 50 miles per hour in the heart of Phase 1 of the Georgia Department of Transportation's massive $500 million project. Lanes are being added and routes reconfigured on I-75 from Hardman Avenue to Pierce Avenue and on I-16 from the interchange to Walnut Creek, just east of Coliseum Drive. Cars and trucks continue to whiz through on the highways that skirt downtown Macon. This spring, the Telegraph launched an investigation into whether the lower speed limits are being enforced. Through open records requests to the Georgia Department of Transportation, Georgia State Patrol, Bibb County Sheriff's Office and Macon-Bibb County Municipal Court, we examined the number of speeding citations and looked at the accidents reported in the first 9 months of construction. During that time, 13 tickets were written for speeding in a construction zone, although a Telegraph reporter observed multiple vehicles going in excess of the 50 miles per hour speed limit on numerous occasions while driving on both interstates. "I hate to say there's nothing we can do about it, because it sounds like we're just ignoring the problem," Georgia State Patrol Corporal Michael Burns told the Telegraph during a ride-along. "But what do you do when there's no place to pull over?" Burns and Bibb County Sheriff's Traffic Supervisor Lt. Scott Davis explained that the new configuration of lanes makes it nearly impossible to conduct radar observation or use speed-tracking laser surveillance. "There is really no safe place to do any kind of real work," Davis said. "That whole area just poses a safety risk for everybody. If you stop a vehicle or check a vehicle, honestly it's best to let them get through that area before you make the traffic stop." 10 speeding tickets were written on Interstate 16 near the construction area through mid-March, according to municipal court records. Only 3 were considered in the construction zone, where fines are increased. During those same 9 months, 10 tickets were written in the I-75 construction zone, although dozens more were issued outside the work area. In the 284 days studied, the Georgia Department of Transportation reported 431 crashes in those lower speed limit zones that stretch from north of Mercer University Drive to just south of Pierce Avenue on Interstate 75 and to Coliseum Drive on Interstate 16. The Telegraph plotted the longitude and latitude coordinates given for each crash to reach the total, which averages 1.5 crashes per day. "Oh Lord, we're out here every day," Macon-Bibb Battalion Fire Chief Tim Johnson told the media in the aftermath of a 3-vehicle crash on March 8. A Jeep Grand Cherokee landed atop the back end of a 2000 Honda Accord that was crushed like an accordion after hitting a tractor-trailer in the work zone on Interstate 16 west approaching the Ocmulgee River. Johnson warned of the dangers. "When you come to the 16 to 75 split from all directions, please slow down and just pay attention to the other drivers, to the other vehicles," he said. "This stuff changes from day to day as they're working on it, and it's going to be an ongoing process," Davis said. "Most accidents in that construction zone don't involve just a single vehicle. Wrecks complicate the already dangerous and congested traffic patterns on the busy highway and put first responders at risk," Riggins said. "The lanes are changing and shifting, and they're made narrower, and it's quite challenging for us because we have to navigate through the traffic, which is already a large amount of traffic on those roads," Riggins said. "Getting large fire and rescue vehicles to the scene is difficult. To safely block traffic, oftentimes means we will have to shut down the entire flow of traffic," he said. Interstate 16 West closed for more than 2 hours May 7 when Macon motorcyclist James Montgomery II was killed instantly when he hit the concrete guardrail on the river bridge. Bibb Sheriff's fatality investigator Corporal Justin Craig confirmed speed was a factor in the only fatal crash in the construction zone since the work began. When staffing permits, Davis will send at least 2 deputies to any crash on the interstate. Lane closures are common even with minor accidents because there is no place for EMS, firefighters and law enforcement to park. Most of the shoulders have been taken up with concrete barriers or orange barrels or cones, Burns said. Confusion about changing traffic patterns increases the risk for a collision, and speed only makes matters worse. Lanes are switching places from where they were, and they painted new lines, but you can still see the old lines, Burns said. Many people traveling through Macon are accustomed to going at least 70 miles per hour and don't readily slow down in time to decipher the new signs and direction of travel. "Run it so fast," Riggins said. By the time they see it, sometimes it's too late to make the proper adjustments because there is someone so close to them, and they cause accidents, Burns said. New exits and closed lanes can be difficult to figure out for those who don't regularly travel through the construction. Near the interchange, vehicles often have to cross traffic to get to their exit or catch the split to continue down the interstate. There is not much time to merge. They don't pay attention to the signs and will just come over on you because they don't want to exit there, so you really have to pay attention, he said. You've really got to have your head on a swivel, so you know what is going on all around you, and pay attention to your mirrors. Construction vehicles entering and exiting the highway are another obstacle for drivers. Dump trucks routinely travel to and from the construction sites, particularly during the work going on off I-75 South near the split. You could be going 75 south running 70 miles an hour, and then traffic comes to a complete stop because a dump truck has merged onto the interstate, Burns said. It's a huge problem. Although local law enforcement and emergency personnel routinely meet with building contractors and the transportation department to plan for new lane closures and traffic patterns, the continual changes can catch the public off guard. I really feel sorry for the people who are not from around here and are not sure where to go, Burns said. They end up cutting someone else off or stopping in the middle of the road to try to get over, or whatever, and they create a huge hazard. Public safety workers suggest you avoid the interstate especially during morning and evening rush hours, although surface streets like Riverside Drive and Walnut Street also have been affected by new bridge construction and lane closures. They all agree that following the 50 miles per hour speed limit, or going even slower during congested times, will make the highway safer for all. Riggins is particularly concerned for the crews working near the flow of high-speed traffic on the project that will take about a decade to complete. Please reduce your speeds because this is a dangerous area, he said. Just be cautious and be careful through there. It will just take you a couple more seconds. Just reduce your speeds and then you'll safely flow on through that part of our city.